Good morning, everyone. Welcome to M&B Creations. Today, I'm actually going to show you how I put the Deco mesh in my bases. That way, when I'm doing a tutorial on a wreath, I can actually just start doing the wreath, and I can always just put this tutorial in with a link to show you how to do it, because this part is a little time consuming, and it's honestly, in my opinion, more of the boring part. But I always use evergreen bases. You could do this with a work wreath form if you wanted. It would totally work with this. But I get these from Hobby Lobby. And these are 24-inch. And the number's 482356. However, the last time I looked, they don't have this size online. They have, I believe it's 30 or 32 inch. So, excuse me, I'll tickle myself. You may just have to go into Hobby Lobby and look and see if they have them. I know all Christmas right now is 50% off. So, so what I do, I like to make mine oval. Okay, so I take it and I squish it. Okay. There we go. Just like that. Okay. Now, if you have one of these that pop, what I normally do is I take the twist ties and tie it together in a couple different places, and it's good to go. Okay. Right, feather. Let's see, I kind of bent it this way so that I take it and bend it down. There. Now it's more flat. One thing I do is I take 3 pipe cleaners. Excuse me. Okay, I cut one in half. So this is how I make bars to go across the back so I can attach attachments. Okay, so I just take one half and then a whole one, and I just connect the ends. Okay. Okay, then I'll put one more towards the top. And just twist it together. And you want to pull it really tight. Okay? Really tight. Okay? And then I'll put one down here towards the bottom. This just gives me another point of contact to attach whatever I'm putting in my wreath. Otherwise, there's nothing in the middle for you to attach anything to. Okay, pull it tight. Okay, just like that. Okay. Now, today I'm using a white iridescent. This is from Craft Outlet. These are all from Craft Outlet. This one is, no, I'm sorry. They're all from Hobby Lobby. I'm sorry. This one is 516-2755. Again, these are $7.99. It's 50% off. Okay. And I got this polypro mesh in the green, red, and white. And this number is 5560693. And then a metallic, wide foil metallic red. And this one's 5162979. These two are the most expensive out of them. They're $10. So if you can get it 50% off and stock up for next year, you're ahead of the game. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and start with this one. Alright, my table's kind of, don't mind my table's kind of I got projects going on. So how I do this, let me show you. Okay, is I take it and I hold it up to where it's about shoulder length. My hand is level with my shoulder. And then I cut it. Okay, so if you want to know the measurement, it's about 20 inches long. Okay, and then I take it and I roll in each end and I scrunch it. Okay, so it looks like that. And I start at the bottom and I go up and down, not sideways. Because when you go up and down, by the time you get to the middle up here, it actually fills in all of this. So you don't need to put any in the middle. Okay, and then I will do white. Try not to put too many of the same colors next to each other. It starts drowning out your colors. Okay, so I'm going about maybe 2-3 inches next to the next one. Now, if you're using a work wreath form, you're going to have 18 ties. So you would just take, you're going to have an odd number if you're using 3. So you can either choose another color to add to it, like you could use a solid green to add to this, or just use 2 colors. Because if you use 3 colors on a work wreath form, you're going to have 2 of the same colors next to each other, because it's just you got even ties and odd number mesh. Okay, so at least with an evergreen form, you've got all these ties. You don't have to worry about that. So you could use as many colors as you want. Okay, I'm gonna put these over here. There we go. You can even add some burlap to this just to make it a little more rustic. Okay, just shove it right down in there to the base of the ties. I usually just twist it a couple times. Okay. If you guys want more notification of more videos, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you'll get notifications when new videos come. I'm trying to do more videos, but I'm running out of room in my house, so I can only hold so much, and I've got a big project coming up that for Christmas that is going to take a lot of my time, and I'll be sharing what that is as soon as I'm allowed. I'm excited about it. So excited. Okay. I don't normally count my, in fact, I don't ever count my mesh curls because I don't know how many I'm going to need in here. Now, if you're doing a work wreath form, you actually can count your mesh curls to however many you need. But with an evergreen form, like I said, you don't know how many ties you're going to be using. So I just do it. I just cut them as I need them. Okay. I like this window pane. It's really fun. This window pane would be really cute for like a like if you're doing a Grinch wreath, which I don't do because it's copyrighted. I mean, if you're going to do a Grinch wreath and give it as a gift, that's one thing. But if you're going to try to sell it in your store, good luck not getting tagged. People have been getting tagged for years now doing Grinch stuff, and they will shut down your shop. So, just a little tip there. You know, don't do anything that's copyrighted. Disney, Dr. Seuss, those Little Debbie tree cakes. People were getting tagged last year for that, which I get. I mean, they came up with the idea. It's no different than you coming up with your own idea and you don't want somebody copying you. So, okay, let's see, red. I actually, last year, it was actually this year, with the Olympics, I have a t-shirt shop as well, and I was putting some t-shirts in my shop that had the American flag on it and said 2024, and all I said was 2024 in Paris, France. And the Olympic Committee came and told Etsy that they needed to take it down because it was copyright. I'm like, for one, the United States is not copyrighted, neither is the year 2024, or Paris, France is not copyrighted. So, I don't know. I don't know why I got tagged for that because none of it was copyrighted, but I just took it all down. I'm like, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to have my shop shut down because of them. I'm not doing it. So, you got to be really careful of copyrighted stuff. Even if you don't think it's copyrighted, they can say it's copyrighted, which is dumb. But okay, so almost all the way around the bottom. Looking festive already. Okay. And red. What I didn't understand about that whole thing is when I contacted the Olympic Committee and let them know that my stuff wasn't copyrighted. It had nothing to do, it had nothing on there that said anything about the Olympics, but yet there are people on there that had t-shirts that said Olympics 2024, you know, what is the term? I even looked this stuff up to make sure it wasn't copyrighted or trademarked. And Team USA. Team USA is copyrighted by, or trademarked by the Olympic Committee. And t-shirts were all over Etsy that had Team USA, but they were never taken down. Even though I was just mad, but even though, you know, I gave them the links to some of these shops that had them listed, they still never had them take it down. So I'm like, So you're basically just picking on me, is what you're doing. So, yeah, I was not happy, but it is what it is. Needless to say, I will not be supporting the Olympics anytime soon. I'm in Colorado Springs, and we have the Olympics and Paralympics Museum here. I will never go to that. We do have an Olympics, what do you call it? Where the trainers go and they stay in the complex, I guess you would call it. Supposedly we're a Olympic city. Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to find, there we go. Now you don't want to pull in these ties too hard because I have had ties come off for some reason. Okay, 2 more I think, and we'll go around the top. Gotta kind of just squeeze them in there. Now, I know it looks like there's a lot of bareness right here, but once you start putting in all of your embellishments and things, you're not going to see it. You could add more into there if you want, but you're just using more mesh, I think, than you really need. Okay, so now we're done with the bottom. So now we're going to go to the top. We're going to do the same thing at the top. And once you see how this starts filling in, you won't need to add any more to the middle. Okay, let's start with the green paint. Right. So when I do a tutorial, I usually like to have this part done because, as you can see, it's a very boring part of the process, right? It's a necessary part, but it's a boring part. Sometimes on Christmas, it's usually Christmas that I do this, but sometimes I don't even use mesh in a wreath. But it's usually Christmas because with evergreen, it's Christmas, right? So it doesn't really matter if you see a lot of the evergreen. So sometimes I won't even use mesh in a wreath, depending on the theme that I'm doing. So you can start to see how this is filling in the middle. Just like that. See? I used to do it a different way where I was making the curls and I was putting them this way, but I found I was using a lot more mesh and I was having to put mesh in the middle as well. Once I started doing it this way, a different way, I was using a lot less mesh and I was getting more coverage. So I don't know where you guys are at, but we're here in Colorado, we're having like an Indian summer. I mean, it's still like in the 80s. You know, today's like the 15th of October, and we're still in the 80s, but this Saturday and Sunday is supposed to be down like in the 40s and 50s, so I'm so excited. excited. Which means it's going to be cool enough where I can start cleaning out my craft room and the sunroom. I gotta rearrange my craft room yet again. For like the 4th time. You ever do that? You like rearrange it and then like a year later, like, I really need to do it again. Because it's not, you find out once you do your craft area, you know, I've been using it, you know, what works and what doesn't. So I've got my embroidery machine across the other side of the room, and I want it over here where I sit, so I don't have to get up and go over there. I don't know why I didn't think of that when I was rearranging my craft room to begin with, but neither here nor there. Here we are. It's going to be a very fun and festive wreath. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. The top doesn't take nearly as long as the bottom because it's a shorter circle around, so. Okay, almost done. And then you'll have to watch the video I do with this wreath. It's going to be really cute. If it turns out like the image in my head, it will be. Sometimes, you know, when you have an idea of a design and you have a picture of your head of what it looks like, sometimes, most of the time in it works out most of the time how I've designed, how it looks in my head. But there are some times where I'm like, I just don't like that. I don't like it. And then I'll have to start over. I have to just pull these ties up because they get laid down. Okay. So you can see as I'm putting these in, how it's filling in the middle. I love that. Almost done. Oh, I can't drop those beads on the floor. I'm hoping one day I can build my craft studio. It'd be 3 times the size of this room. Because I do need a bigger table. This is a 6-foot table, and I really need an 8-foot table. But I don't have enough room in my craft room. Because basically my craft room is a spare bedroom in my house, so it's not extremely big. I'm working on it. So I want to have one side that's got all my supplies, and then my work area on the other side. I mean, I do have a 40-foot Connex box that's got all my supplies in it, but it'd be nice to be able to have most of my sewing stuff on one side, so I don't have to keep going out there. If you guys aren't sure what a Connex box, it's actually a shipping container that I bought. You can buy shipping containers in different sizes. They have them in 20-foot, 40-foot. They got like 8-foot ceilings. They're sealed, so bugs and things like that can't get in it. Dust. What's nice about it is we live out here on a dirt road, so there is a lot of dirt dust, and none of it ever gets in my Connex box, which is nice, and no bugs. No creepy crawly things. So they seal them pretty well. The only thing is they're not weatherized. So, you know, if it gets cold outside, let's say it's like 10 degrees outside, it's going to be like -10 inside. It's like a freezer box. And the same thing with the summer. If it's 100 outside, it's going to be like 110 in there. So it's not regulated at all. But they're fairly cheap. I mean, I bought mine. They call it brand new, which means it was only used for shipping once. And I bought it for $5,000. You can rent them, but I decided I was just going to buy mine because I knew I was going to be using it the whole time I lived here. So there was no point in just renting it. It's a waste of money. Okay, last one. Alright, I just want to kind of bring these up like that. There. I'm going to put these over here because I need some more later. Alright. There we go. It's all filled in. Again, if you want to add more stuff in here, you can. But like I said, now that you've got all that in there, you can barely see the stuff on the ends. Okay. So that is how you fill in a wreath. Look at how much bigger it is now that I've got all that in there. So this is how you fill in an evergreen base or even a work wreath form. And so stay tuned for the tutorial of the wreath that I'm making with this. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, let me know. And again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification button to get notifications of more videos. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Have a great day. Bye, guys.